Welcome back, Balance Beamers. I'm your host, Naketa Thigpen, and you are live walking with us on the Balance Beam. Oh my God. That's what I have to say about this next guest. That describes everything about Miss Jamie Bertonazzi. She's an amazing creative and very analytical, and you know that's how I like them, the analytical creatives. Professional, designer, event planner, owner, has marketing knowledge. She's just incredible in every way and completely personable. You don't feel like you're talking to a machine when you talk to Jamie. You get real in the moment, customized help and support in everything that has to do with design. In addition to the fact that she really knows a ton about floral designs, which is something that's new to me because I'm walking into this whole herbalist realm of myself, I would like to welcome Jamie to the Balance Beam. Welcome, Jamie.
Oh, thank you. So excited to be here.
Listen, you know, you and I have been walking this cross path thing for a while.
I know.
It's gotta be, over a year and a half almost, the first time we met each other at a networking event?
It definitely is. And you're part of the reason why I'm here.
just a small part.
Started my own little path, my own little journey, thanks to you.
Well, I like that. Not that I'm taking any responsibility for all the greatness that you do, but it's awesome to hear that those little small nuggets that we have and just those personal conversations actually show up and matter.
Absolutely. I mean, you certainly inspired me and you got me thinking, which was great. So
Aww.
You're
making me blush. Thank you. So, Jamie, tell every Balance Beamer about B2 Creative and all the amazing things that you've done and are doing.
Sure. So B2GETHER Creative, we're a full-service event planning and interior design company. I just started it this year. As I mentioned, Naketa and I kind of had these little nuggets last year, and it was always something that I wanted to do. And she really kind of helped push me along, which was something that I definitely needed. And I don't know how much you really did inspire me at the time, but you truly did. So I thank you very much. So I'm in the kind of starting up phase, which is great. And I kind of got there because of my passion for events. And I started in floral design many moons ago. As a little high schooler. I worked at a florist in the high school, loved it, went to college, didn't know what I wanted to do. Ended up finding kind of horticulture and planning and designing for the landscape. And I actually, after we had talked, I was trying to think of certain things, but I graduated from Rutgers, but before I did, I felt like I needed to kind of push myself a little bit. I was definitely an introvert my whole life, but I knew when to kind of be an extrovert in certain moments. So I pushed myself. I wanted to go to Australia. That was like a dream of mine.
Oh, wow.
My parents, they let me do it. So I actually ended up exiting Rutgers, applied directly to University of Sydney because we didn't have a program through Rutgers. And I lived there for 6 months. And I kind of learned more about their culture, more about their horticulture, botany from them. And it was awesome. I didn't know anyone. I kind of just got on a plane. My parents let me get on a plane and go there. And they were like, okay, you're all the way across the world. And it was awesome. And it was a huge kind of learning experience for me. And that's kind of where I started really thinking more about kind of my future. And so when I came back, I actually had the ability to work for a florist again up in New Brunswick, and they did a lot of events and a lot of floral design. And so I was in charge of kind of helping with the event execution part of it, and it's actually where I met my husband. So it really kind of changed my whole world. So in any case, definitely have a lot of floral design background, and that's where I really kind of first learned about the event side of things, and I love it. I'm so passionate about it. It's such a creative way for me to kind of express myself, and kind of bring joy to other people. So that's kind of where I started floral design. I still go back to the same florist that I met my husband every holiday to help, and he comes too. It's actually, it's fun. It's almost like we're like dating again, like we're in college and we're like sneaking around to the places that we used to sneak a kiss from or something, back in the day. So it's fun. So we still continue to go back just to, give back, and we love the people there. So it's fun.
That is incredible. First of all, you were following kind of like these little alerts that the universe was giving you, these little things that you had no idea would pop up from just kind of taking a job in high school, and actually following what was happening inside your spirit. Like, okay, like, maybe this floral thing is more than just this skill that I developed. And you actually developed a passion from it, because your degree is in environmental planning, right?
Yeah. So it's really kind of landscape architecture. It's really primarily what that means. And I had a minor in plant science. So I graduated college thinking I'm going to be a landscape architect. I went out there and there was nothing for me. So there was a lot of internships, but I have my loans coming in. I have, bills. I'm like, I'm a grown up all of a sudden, I graduate and, the switch, and I have to quickly generate some sort of revenue in order to pay for these certain things now that all these bills are coming in. So yeah, I kind of, from there, I went to more of the marketing side of things and did more of the in-house events for a particular company. And then it kind of, from there, it was really just kind of running into people and meeting people and networking. And then, from there, I met someone who had her own business, who just started it. She was doing events as well, and it was more of the association management piece of things. And she's like, hey, do you want to come on board? We got along really well. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And so I did that for 6 years. And so I learned a ton from her and from that. And I really wanted to learn more about the venue side of things. That's why I worked at the Ritz-Carlton, so I could learn more on the venue vendor side, as opposed to being that planner always just coming in and coming at, that particular person. So it's been fun. I've been kind of learning different, aspects of events over the past number of years at this point.
You had kind of a 360-degree view, like you mentioned, not only from the association management side, for the people who plan the events and have those conversations and negotiate with vendors like the Ritz-Carlton, but then you got that side of it in terms of what to expect, what's really their negotiation room, what are they willing to throw in or take away or add in as a a perk or a bonus, and all those things. And then floral is a whole nother element to making events stand out and be beautiful and inviting and open, and for me, selfishly, very relaxing and very balancing for that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's been fun, and it's obviously thanks to my parents for letting me be the black sheep of the family. I was like always the creative one, the artsy one. The rest of my family is like very like sports, and I was just off in and they just let me do it, which is awesome. So kudos to them too.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's a good point, right? Because as a child and as a parent, that's one of your concerns is, oh boy, are we about to spend, 40, 50, 60, 80,000 and upward for her to go figure it out, and to, play in a degree, because that's what some children do as they're trying to figure out where they're going to go and grow and how to, make their way in life, because we want to know that you're going to be able to sustain yourself, beyond this 4-year experience, which for some children is just an experience. I know I have an 18-year-old, Lord Jesus bless me, who's also creative, and you're kind of an analytical creative because you have that professional experience that kind of grew out of your creative self that happens. And I'm not really that sure about his yet, if he has that analytical side, but he is definitely brilliant in his creativity. That's quirky. That is quirky meets quirky meets quirky on every level, and there's always that concern for how things will work out for him because he's so creative. And he talk about black sheep, like we're all four of us are black sheep in this house, like there's nobody more crazy than me. But it does make you wonder, and I know you and your husband right now are planning for your own family, and there's been some tumultuousness around this planning experience that you're dealing with. Yeah.
Well, as a planner, I mean, you always have a plan. So, we dated for a long time. We knew each other very well. We finally got engaged. After 9 years, we get married. And yeah, I mean, the next thing obviously was kind of starting a family. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened for us. So we, and I'm going to get emotional about this, but we have been trying for about 3 years at this point. And yeah, as a planner, you're like, oh my gosh, this was not in my plan. And so at this point, we've done IUIs, we've done multiple IUIs, we've done, they found some polyps in my uterus, had them removed. There's been just a lot of kind of that sort of stuff. And we just, we've been saving so much to do the IVF portion because unfortunately that's not covered in a lot of people's insurance.
Right.
And so now we're in the midst of IVF, and I'm just finishing my first cycle with it, and we're praying and hoping that that it happens, and what the path is, what are we supposed to do, where it's been such a struggle, and there are nights where I cry my eyes out going to sleep, or I feel guilty about not being able to provide a family for my husband. I have like that guilt. So there's just a lot that you don't know. There's a lot of things you can't plan for in life, and there's something that this is something that we would love to be parents. We would love to start our family, and we hope that this works and that it does. But it's tough, and it's been tough because it's such a topic that nobody really talks about,
right?
Very much, or when you're in it, it's sad because you see the same faces over and over and over again every month with you, but nobody talks. And so it's that's been hard too, just kind of knowing, like, I know what you're going through, what I'm going through, like, let's hang out. Let's talk. So I thankfully have a great support system. My family, they're there for me no matter what. And same with my husband's family. We're, very religious family, so we're very faith-based. So, we pray a lot, and we hope that, we find what the path is that we are supposed to be on. So, and this is it, and we're supposed to, it's a good realization for me. I can't plan out my life, and I can't plan out when I have kids or any of that stuff. But, so it's been a little bit of a bump in the road, but it's been great for Kevin and I, because through all of this, we've kind of come even closer than we were before. So that's huge. So.
Absolutely. I mean, everything for a reason. That's first and foremost, even through the experience. And I want you to get your own black sheeps of the family in there, right, so you can you can have this parenting experience of like, oh my, I have a kid who was like me. What am I supposed to do? And working it from the kind of the other angle versus being that kid for your parents and going through all of those wonderful experiences that I'm sure you didn't trouble them through, but that you kept them on their feet for, walking on eggshells sometimes. It's a really hard place to be in, and I'm grateful that you shared that, Jamie, because this isn't a subject that people talk about. There's a whole nother element to infusing balance when you're dealing with something that's an everyday in your face struggle. It's one thing to be focused on, the money, working your 9 to 5, just trying to get through your daily, trying to maintain your marriage, trying to maintain some semblance of self in your marriage, not losing yourself as a wife now, and remembering that there was a Jamie before who had passions and desires and creativities. And now you're balancing the pain around financial decisions because of medical procedures that aren't covered, and the chore of trying to push for certain things to be covered, and doctor's appointments, and scheduling things into your already full schedule because you have a full business, which is demanding because you offer a customer service and a quality white glove service experience to all of your clientele, which makes you available. So you don't have traditional hours. You're not necessarily saying, I only answer your call around your major 400-person events between 9 and 4.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Anxious about it, but no, it has been, I mean, it definitely has been challenging trying to balance, the new schedule of IVF is very intense. Mm-hmm. And so, providing that time that I need in order to focus on my family and focus on that, and all of the, unfortunately, all of the procedures that go into that and the money that is involved. I mean, it's a huge sacrifice. So yeah, trying to balance that and balance, still your appointments and your schedule, and, events are still happening, and, you're still supposed to be on calls, and just, I'm just open and honest with everyone about, currently what I'm going through. And so that way they're aware. I'm definitely going to get back to you. I'm very quick at responding. Mm-hmm. So they know if I'm not responding super fast, it's usually because there's something going on. But I'll respond as soon as I can. But exactly, it's a particular industry where it's never 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your Superwoman cape on at all times.
Yeah.
And not for yourself necessarily, but because you're blowing out fires and handling negotiations and organizing, and you're dealing with now multiple vendors who are bidding for your client service via you, because you're setting those things up and answering those calls and emails and proposals. And I know, for just working firsthand with you through the Healthier You conference that's coming up in October, you deal a lot with customizing the event experience. You're not just implementing it, you're actually designing the experience.
Oh yeah, and that event in particular is just such a blessing just to even have that event. I mean, Kristen Molly is amazing. I know she's been on with you as well, but she alone, just meeting her was like, just, she's the most positive person I have ever met. And it's just, and this is kind of the things that I love about events. It's just seeing her passion come out for this particular event in particular, and just helping her dream come alive. And that's so special, and so special that she has me included in that. But yeah, that event is in October 10th at the Newman University, and she's doing just wonderful things for her local community, and that's inspiring to me, and that makes me want to do more for my community. But she will certainly leave everyone with an powerful, experience in general, just from talking to her and that event in general. But yeah, she has a lot going on. We have a lot of really great speakers. We have some really great exercise workouts going on. We have Zumba. We have some yoga. We have center stage yoga in the morning to kind of kick things off. So yeah, it's going to be a wonderful experience for all of those that attend and all those that are involved. So even if you're just a sponsor or you're an exhibitor, you're still going to walk away with things that can help change your life for the better, for Healthier You, which is kind of the overall, conference, right? So if you haven't registered yet, I'm putting a plug out there. Register today. It's well worth the attending, and you will certainly live a much healthier and longer life if you attend this event. But it's great. Yeah, she's awesome. That event in particular is great, and there is a lot of moving parts, but it's well worth it, and it's going to be a wonderful, beautiful day. So she's great, as you know.
I'm laughing. I'm like, look at Jamie B. Business all day. She's like, listen, I'm emotional, but I'm putting in a plug for an upcoming client event. Just so you know, take it. Register today.
Okay, people. Go to Kristen's website, healthcaresolutionsdv.org. Register today. It's going to be great. So, yeah, no, that one in particular is off the charts. And she's off the charts, so it's really cool. And I met her at a women's group, which has been really wonderful for me too. And obviously, I got to meet her, but there's also a lot of other women there that are of different ages and different industries, just trying to help each other grow and providing wisdom and. They've helped me. They've been so supportive of me. And I'm like, what do? I feel like my husband and I are like, maybe we're not seeing eye to eye. And so they helped kind of, hey, you should do date nights and, schedule things with him. And I'm like, you're right. We're both very, have a great work ethic, a really great work ethic. And so sometimes that gets lost when you're in a relationship. So it's been, especially when you have stressful things going on inside that relationship, like what we have going on right now. So, that group in particular has been great because they kind of helped me get more balance in my life again, which was great.
You're like pun intended with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not mad at that. I'm listening to you, and you have to feel like you're in a little bit of a conundrum on some level. So you have, great opportunities with your business and all the things that you're doing, a long-lasting, enriching relationship with your husband. But then you have this other area where one of the larger projects on your roster, and I know you have others as well, but one kind of coming up that's stirring you in your face quite often is a health conference, which is so ironic considering all the things that you're dealing with and how you're kind of, bumping up heads with the political system around insurance and coverage and, just all those things that you're dealing with. And then you have this other experience where you see a medical professional who's really trying to help get things covered that aren't covered, not that particular thing, but, so, medications, prescriptions, wellness checks and exercise regimens and weight loss systems and all kinds of things for corporations to have those things covered for cost savings effect for the corporation and employees and make people better, make people healthier. And then you and your husband are struggling with a health challenge because of all the things that are happening environmentally as well as internally and physiologically. And then you have this relationship part where you're building this support system with incredible women that you're meeting who can speak to your heart in terms of, I'm married too, or I've been married as well, or I'm in a relationship, and these are some things I suggest. But they may or may not have a window into this other challenge that I know from an indirect experience level from working in a special delivery unit as a perinatal social worker, that there's an element to IVF and IUI that is very taxing and feels very business-like inside the relationship, where you feel a little bit depleted emotionally because you have these intimate experiences that are supposed to be loving and natural that are very clocked. Like, all right, it's time, let's go.
And that's it. That's where we were missing that kind of emotional connection with each other. Mm-hmm. And that's where I felt like, oh my gosh, am I losing him? And we're, this is supposed to be a time where we're, creating a family. And, obviously it's not the traditional route, unfortunately for us. But how do we try to make it fun? Mm-hmm. And how do I, what can I do to bring that spice back that maybe was lacking? So, so that absolutely, that it's been so much fun now. We've finally found that, and that's been great. So, it's thanks to all the women out there, not just that particular group of, in particular. I think it's like every woman out there, like, how do I keep that spark alive? Mm-hmm. You have that feeling, when things are not exactly the way they probably should be. Yeah. You know that. You have that intuition. That's what women, we have that. That's just like our natural gift.
Absolutely. It's our gifts inside our relationship, and making sure that we're in tune with our partner. But you also got to keep them hoes away. So you have to make sure that
You want to say it, but you did. I like it.
Exactly. You know I have no filter. So but it really is important, and I'm glad you have the spark. That I have the other hat of being a sex therapist in addition to so many other elements of my profession. And it really is important to be in tune and to mix it up, especially as a scheduler and a planner, because of everything else you have going on. You need to have some regimens and routines, and some things you're just trying to fit in, and then you have that emotional taxation of the experience with IVF and all the things that go into that, like you mentioned earlier, the appointments and kind of feeling in a weird space. You're in these lobbies with these other women that are having very similar experiences, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, we're almost there, the nope, that didn't work, all those different things that happen, and everyone's so closed off because they're afraid to let other people in to that experience. And you're like, but hey, I'm in it with you. And then you have your husband who's like, listen, I don't need you to share your time with anyone else because we got some stuff to get done.
I know, but yeah, it's a shame. I feel like there should be more conversation about it, and it's very hard. It's a hard experience to go through. It's hard every month when you put so much time and effort into it, and then your hopes have been kind of put back down again. So it's hard. It's a hard roller coaster to ride, but we're very hopeful, and I think everyone out there who is going through any of that is very hopeful. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And going back to kind of that Healthier You conference, I mean, that has been great too, with regards to making sure I'm healthy and make sure that my body is as healthy as it can possibly be at this moment. So that way it gives me a better chance at hopefully being able to carry a pregnancy. So, I mean, it's very important. Health and wellness is incredibly important. And to be a part of that conference in particular is amazing. Just knowing that, and hopefully, kind of sharing this is going to help other people. So
absolutely, it sounds like it's kind of a visual anchor, since it's a few months away. It's a nice anchor, and then all the things that you're helping with behind the scenes to kind of drive not only the design, organization, and planning of it, but making sure that you impact as many people as you can. But there's more to your story behind this, Jamie. There's a reason, in addition to your own experience and you kind of planning out this particular strategy to make sure that you can build your family with as much that you as a human can possibly do between you and your husband. But there's a lot to you being connected to. I wish people would share. I wish people would open up and talk. There may be something for that. It's that I know quite a few of my family members and friends who have gone through the experiences, some successfully and some non-successfully. And I've seen both things happen equally the same, where the people who went through successfully are like so excited to finally have that part of themselves done with, that it's just like, yes, the roller coaster is over. And they don't share the experience. And I'm not mad at that. I totally understand. If you were just dealing with trauma up and down, up and down, up and down, you'd be like, listen, go read about it in a book somewhere. I'm just not the one. I don't want to have to relive it through sharing. And then the ones who don't go through it as successfully as they would prefer, then it's just like this shame around it. And you want to close it off, and the vulnerability door is it's barricaded now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I know it's tough, and every person's different. Every person's experience with it is different, and it's a lot on your emotions. And so I get it. I get where you don't want to talk about it. People are like, oh, hey, when are you having kids? Oh, we're still deciding. Like, you're trying to bypass questions and dodging things. And, I get both sides of it. And I get once you are pregnant, like, oh, my gosh, that's amazing. And, moving on with, just that path. And that's great. But it's still tough for those people that are still struggling with it. So it's a hard balance of, how far do you take it? And obviously I'm happy to talk to anybody about it. If there's someone that is going through IVF or any type of, emotional roller coaster like that, I'm always happy to discuss it with, people. And I love kind of just connecting with people in general. So I'm always happy to help if I can. Even if it's just to, be a support and kind of be there to send you a text message like, hey, good luck, I'm thinking of you. Like something as small as that can, bring somebody out of maybe their little darkness that you might be in at that moment. So
no, you'll be surprised at how just being open and available is helpful for people. Just the knowledge of it is helpful to know that they can reach out. And Jamie wasn't just saying it, she really meant it.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
And so from, all of this, and it's been, like I said, 3 years of just kind of this roller coaster ride. And during that time, it was, what do I love doing that can at least give me, some excitement and passion and happiness? And that's kind of, then I got to meet you and, talk to you, and you just have this soothing kind of way about you, and just, you don't realize just how impactful you are. And just kind of, like I said, meeting you, and it was meant to be, and our paths were meant to cross. And so, you helped me find that passion and helped me find that dream and make my dream come true with starting this business. And so I know you don't think that you have done a lot, but you have done a tremendous amount for me. And so I am incredibly grateful, and can't say more about you and how amazing you are. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, I receive. I needed that. There's no shyness here. We all need to feel that, and that helps me to feel more connected to the vine that I'm a part of. To know that those moments that you're not necessarily even sure if it's impactful, and you're just being yourself and being open and honest and vulnerable, which I have been in my conversations with you, is meaningful. So I'm grateful to hear that just me being me is helpful in any way, even if it was the smallest, tiniest way. I am very, very appreciative of you sharing that with me, because I need to be refueled too, as someone who's a giver and who's pouring out. And it's always helpful to hear it. And I'm not looking for it, but it's always really helpful to hear it. So I thank you for sharing that with me, especially in the midst of everything that you're pouring out and all the ways that you're doing, because you right now, you have to take moments to receive so you can be refueled as well, because you're giving out a lot of energy, not only to your clients, but to your husband, to your new baby to come, to everything that's around you. So I want an invitation. Let me put that out there selfishly. # selfish Naketa. I'm coming, okay? Just so you know. You know I mean it.
I know. So hopefully I should know by next week if this one worked, so we hope so. If not, then we're going to keep on going, and wherever the path takes us is where it will go. So, and we're fine with that. So
absolutely. Well, you also have, Jamie, you have this incredible opportunity to attract more people to you with just the Healthier You conference, just to mention that and put it in the plug, because I love Dr. Molly. Because she surrounds herself with other naturopaths and alternative medicine physicians, and Deneen Holloman, Dr. D. Grace is the name that she goes by. She was just on not too long ago, and she was mentioning the power of juicing and vegetables and kind of detoxifying the body and just other things that you can add to your repertoire of recharging and refueling and kind of releasing toxins from your body, and just other ways that may, not to intervene with the medical course that you're on, but that could just add to literally a healthier you, which is awesome.
Yeah, I would agree. And there's, speaking of that conference, I mean, Janine's going to be speaking. We have a number of speakers who are going to be talking about kind of that alternative kind of path, like you mentioned, and kind of helping with your employees and employee wellness. And so there's other options out there, like you said. And again, refueling yourself, your body, to make it a better, better you in general. I feel better when I'm healthier. I mean, I feel better when my husband and I go on a walk together at night. After a stressful day. I mean, that's a huge stress reliever. Hey, let's, like, you and me go for a walk. We'll take our dogs. It's us, me and my two little beagles. Those are our kids right now. And, the four of us go on a little walk through the park. And, that's very, de-stressing for me. And hopefully, other people will learn other ways to kind of de-stress and make themselves healthier, because it does. You feel better, you're more productive, you're happier, and ultimately you're healthier and you're living longer, and that's important. So I'm really looking forward to the conference myself. I'm gonna learn a ton. I'm gonna, especially in the current, ride that I'm on, any of that particular information that I can do to help myself or to help my family, I mean, I'm gonna take it all in for sure.
Absolutely, especially if you're not running around being in design mode.
Running around, but in the midst of that, I'm gonna be, doing my Zumba, my kickboxing.
I'm looking forward to the rebounding station with the trampolines outside. That's what I'm looking forward to. I just want to jump on some trampolines.
It's gonna be so fun. Oh my gosh, it really is. It's gonna be a great time. So I'm looking forward to it. And it has been so much fun. If you're not having fun doing what you're doing, why are you doing it?
You better preach. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you're grinding and putting in a lot of hard hours and time, and forget quantity of time, but the quality that you're putting in. You better enjoy what you're doing. I don't care if you're tethered to a professional kind of career path, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're both. I call them careerpreneurs, professionals, and entrepreneurs kind of simultaneously. You have to love what you're doing, or it shouldn't even be something that's on your plate to do, honestly.
Right. I agree. It shouldn't even have the time that we don't have enough of. You shouldn't be wasting out something that you're not happy with. So.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you now that I just sense a blog coming, some kind of, video blog or written blogs talking about this experience and sharing with other mothers, and, the kind of the green and growing moms that are, coming up and developing their maternal experiences through the process that they're going through. It's there. So I sense it. I'm just saying, I'm not like a prophet or anything, but I sense it.
All right. I'll write it down. Naketa said.
She said, hashtag Periscope, all of this. No.
I got it.
She's like, yeah, okay. All right, Naketa, whatever you say. I'm not mad at that, Jamie. I'm not mad at that. Well, what would you recommend for people, and I'm just going to choose those parents, the moms and dads who are connected to the experience of growing their family, whether they have no biological children or they're growing in their element of desiring biological children. What would you say to them in terms of how to just de-stress and relax, or to literally infuse balance into their life? What would you recommend?
So since we've started IVF, it's been kind of a commitment for Kevin and I to take one day and just unplug and be together. And so right now our hot spot is Ocean City, New Jersey. So my husband is a pilot, and he loves flying, obviously. So we have a little four-seater, little Cessna 182.
Ooh.
And so we take that little plane out, and we fly 20 minutes to Ocean City, New Jersey, and we rent bikes, and we just take the day to be together. We play skee ball. we just have fun. You have to remember that you have each other, and that it's a journey that you're on together. It's not just me going through all of this, it's him too. At the end of the day, if it happens, we're going to be parents together. And so, yeah, right now that's what we're doing on the weekends. We're taking one day where we're unplugging, we're not working at all. And he likes to work. He works on the weekends too. So he sacrifices, he takes the day. And, he loves to fly. So we'll fly the plane somewhere and we'll just go rent bikes. We love bike riding and, just being together, have fun. Just, remember that it's the two of you, and that's kind of what started that journey. And, if it is meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, then you know what, we have awesome nieces and nephews. We have friends who, we're the aunts and uncles. We're not just, the friends, we're the family as well. And, we make very special moments with each of them. And that's kind of how we're showing our love for kids. And, if that's how it's going to be, then we're going to be the best aunts and uncles ever. Are you kidding? We're going to be the coolest.
You're already the coolest. What are you talking about?
Already the coolest.
I love that you're enjoying the process. As difficult and tumultuous as it is, it feels good to hear that you recognize that this journey is literally taking you somewhere. You're coming from one place and going to another. And there's a lot of, hills and valleys and some other terrain that you weren't prepared for that are coming up, but you're still enjoying the process because you're in it together, which makes sense. B2GETHER Creative. That makes so much sense for your company as well as your personal life. Like, you're literally infusing the best elements of your creative and analytical self into all elements of you, and you're starting with yourself at home and with your first ministry, which is your household, your husband, and the beagles, because they need love too. I'm a pug girl, so I understand. It's important, and I think that speaks volumes, Jamie, on so many levels. It's so confirming to hear this kind of personal self that you shared with me and all the balance beamers who will hear this time and time again, because we're going to pimp this episode like nobody's business.
Oh, yeah.
I want them to hear. We're talking sex, we're talking love, we're talking babies. What?
Oh, yeah. Bring it on tonight.
Exactly. And you've said so many incredible nuggets that I think not just women, but men should hear as well, because it speaks volumes to the fact that you appreciate where your husband stands in the midst of this as a professional himself, who has, a job in the midst of all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's hard for them too. It's hard for him to watch me take the shots and, multiple medications, and it's hard for him to see me go through that. He doesn't like it at all. I mean, it's definitely, and you can tell that it's getting to him. Yeah. And, it's tough. It's, he's not, a sharer. So for him to call up his guy friend and be like, oh, hey, my wife is, sticking herself with 3 needles a day. And, that's not something that he is comfortable with talking about. So, yeah, if I can help or talk to anyone, I'd be so honored to, because I know how tough it is, and I would just be open to it. And if you're open to it, please feel free to email me or call me. I'm always happy to help and support someone. So.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say, how do people reach you, whether it's for the business self of B2GETHER Creative, or they're just trying to get into the head knowledge point of someone who's walking through an area of go through that you share together?
Oh, sure. So you can go to the website. It's B2GETHERcreative.com. You can email me at jamie@b2gethercreative.com. My cell phone, I'll throw it out there, 732-616-9168. Call me if you need me. I can help you. Happy to. I'd be honored. I know it's a lot, and I know that it's a struggle for a lot of people that don't talk about it. So happy to do that. And if you need just advice on events in general, or, anything, happy to help that as well. If you're just getting started, or maybe it's a dream of yours to start a business, I'm in the process. I've started, and I just picked up the money class from Susie. I got to learn my financials on the side of the business. That's a little tough. That's not my forte. So, I have to. It's been great, but it's been fun, and so. I appreciate you having me on. This is so cool.
I love having you on. This has been so personal and so exciting. And on so many levels, I think you're touching more than just the hearts of balance beamers who are just, looking for ways to balance their crazy, chaotic lives, but also helping them understand that people are dealing with things beyond a 9-to-5, beyond building a business, and beyond just kind of, managing day-to-day stuff. You're dealing with other elements. So I thank you for being open and honest and sharing and welcoming on every level. Like, this was really awesome. This was a great experience to share with you. And I use that word grateful because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful that you shared it with me specifically.
Thank you. Well, you're one of a kind, so of course.
Oh, look, say that again. No, I'm joking. Like Naketa, you in your head, man. No.
I love you.
I love you more. Jamie, you've been awesome. I don't want you to go anywhere at all. So stay right there, and thank you for being an amazing, incredible, open, and honest and transparent guest. I super appreciate you for that. Balance beamers. I started this with a, oh my God. And I'm sure you're walking away, listening, driving, embracing every element of this moment, saying, oh my God, how awesome that was. So with that said, I would say you need to follow up with Jamie and make sure that you link with her in the many ways that she mentioned, including her cell phone number, which is a rarity on the balance beam. So make sure that you guys are working in good integrity, because that's the only way I expect you to. And connect with her to really walk through the process with her as she helps you through yours, whether it's business or whether it's personal, in the element and the way that she showed it. But don't go anywhere. We have more tools for you to infuse.
So we're planning a huge health conference, October 10th, save the date. It's a full day conference, and we're really, the purpose of the conference is to really get people to make small changes in their life now. So just small things, you just have to do something now, so that you can see the difference and you can see the payoffs in 10, 20, or 30 years from now when it's time to retire. I used to work in long-term care, and I was responsible for traveling to different nursing homes in the area, where I had to do chart reviews and check on the medications that all the residents were on. And I was shocked at the number of people who would spend the rest of their lives in nursing homes, who were in their 50s and their 60s and their 70s, just because they had had a heart attack previously or a stroke previously. And those things, for most of us, are completely preventable. That means we could do something about it. We can change the course that we're on. And so the conference is to really inspire people, empower people, give them the knowledge, the tools, everything that they need to make small changes now, so that it'll pay off and they can actually enjoy their retirement down the road. So we're doing a lot of hands-on workshops. We're bringing in some great speakers. We have an awesome keynote speaker, hands-on cooking demonstrations and fitness demonstrations. It's going to be an awesome event. So we're really looking forward to that.